My name is Joe Walsh, first baseman for the Mustangs. Just caught the first game, kind of tired, but ready to play the game. Sky's blue, sun shining. This one's for you, Dad.
Tempe Diablo Stadium is the site of the 2014 Men's Senior Baseball League's World Series. And today, defending champions, the South Bay Zephyrs and the Diamond Dream Mustangs collide in a pivotal game for both teams. Getting a look at starting pitcher Bill Downing. The Zephyrs come in 3 wins, no losses, 1 tie. The Mustangs are 3-1 by way of record. I had a chance to talk to Antone Henley before the game and asked him if he feels like his team can repeat.
Yes, we believe we do. We have to give credit. The division got tougher, much tougher. So, we're going to have to step up, put on our big boy pants, and play a little bit harder.
And special thanks to Antone Henley for his comments before today's game. Tempe Diablo Stadium, cavernous dimensions, 420 feet to straightaway center field. 359 down the right field line, 340 to left field, and we're set to go. And the game's first pitch from Bill Downing is inside for ball 1, and we're underway. Dan Cassidy, Correcchia, and Terry Longan will be the first 3 for the Mustangs, led by manager Mike LeCobb. And here's a bouncing ball foul. 1 ball, 1 strike on the leadoff hitter. So Bill Downing, veteran right-hander. And what is probably a very pivotal game, ground ball to the right side. The second baseman is there, and he'll throw him out at first, 1 down. Joe Correcchia is the next batter. I had a chance to catch up with him before the game. Nice play out there at second base. And I asked him what it's like to come out onto this field.
It's not like this at home.
Right.
It's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. We wish so many people from home could be here to see it, because if they ever came to these tournaments one time, they would always come back. It's better than any vacation they could ever take.
How you guys doing so far?
We're doing great. We lost the first game, but we just won the next 3, so we're 3-1. The team is doing terrific. We have pitching in reserve, so that's the key to winning, is having some pitching. And we've got pitching in reserve we haven't used yet, so things are going really good.
Well, you're going up against a Los Angeles-based team, the Zephyrs. They won it last year.
Yeah.
Is there any different mindset going into this game as opposed to the other 4 teams you played?
Well, no. Actually, it'd be nice if we win this game, but we are 3-1, so it's not a must-win game. We have one of our top pitchers going, so it's an indication of what it might be like in the playoffs. So we're gonna try hard to win. But we're going to be relaxed because it's not a must-win game.
And I appreciate Joe spending a few moments with us before the game, giving us a little bit of an insight, including the South Bay Zephyrs, a little insight on this team. He had a good cut at a pitch up in the strike zone and fouls it off, 0-1. Pretty good ball player. Says he's 52 years old and doesn't even look like he looks like he could pass for his mid-30s. And he's got outstanding speed. And he hammers one out into left center field. Antone Henley gives chase, but that's going to get the gap. Here comes Joe to second, and he is going to be in sliding. And hopefully he's all right. He's got a 2-base hit. And the Diamond Dreams are off and running here with 1 out, and their third-place hitter, Terry Longan. Joe Walsh is on deck. No score. We're in the top of the first inning. Swing and a foul by the third-place hitter, one of their leading run producers here in 2014. So the Mustangs taking on the defending champions, the Zephyrs, in the 50 and over Cactus Division. 2014 MSBL World Series from the winter home of the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Here's a fly ball, an attempt for Antone Henley, and he'll make the one-handed grab. Well, Antone, one of the top outfielders in this age group. So now Joe Walsh coming to the plate, and you saw the comments. He dedicated this game to his father, and, well, I'll tell you, if that doesn't tug at your heartstrings, nothing will. He caught the first game that this team played earlier. They lost their first game, but have won 3 straight. And he takes a big wallop and comes up empty-handed as Bill Downing blows it by him, 0-1. Runner at second base. 2 out. Here's a quick throw back to second, and the ball gets away. And now heading to third is Joe, and he is going to be in without a throw. Unfortunately for the Zephyrs, there'll be a throwing error on Bill Downing. I had a chance to talk to this Joe Walsh before the game, a great guy to have not only on the field but off the field. And he'll do some damage at the plate here today. He's just an outstanding hitter. He's up there with a runner at third and 2 out, scoreless tie in the pitch, and a swing and a miss. 2 strikes on the cleanup hitter, Joe Walsh. Baver is on deck. Downing kicks and deals. And here's a bomb, deep left field. He got all of that one. It is going to be up against the wall on one hop. And that's going to produce the game's first run as Joe Walsh doubles to left field, and it's 1-0 Mustang. Recchia scores from third on the long 2-base hit. And here's Kevin Baver. First pitch taken, ball 1. So a 1-0 first inning lead for the Mustangs. And a good start for Mike Lacomb's Diamond Dream Mustangs. Here's a ground ball, and that's going to find center field. Here comes Antone Henley. He's got a good arm. He comes up firing home, and that will hold the runner at third. Outstanding play as he ranged to his right out there in left center field. Unfortunately, the high throw allowed the runner to move up 90 feet to second base and into scoring position. So now they're at second and third, and here's Tom Kelly. But to Antone's defense, I think he probably felt, especially with, it wasn't the hardest hit ball to the outfield. And I'll tell you the truth, I think if I was out there, I probably would have been firing to the plate, as this one is hammered way back into left field, and that is going to go by the left fielder, and 2 runs are going to score, and the Mustangs have exploded for 3 runs, a 2-run base hit by Tom Kelly. And it's 3-0 Diamond Dream. So a tremendous hitting barrage, a double by Walsh, Baver an single, and then Tom Kelly a 2-run double. And just like that with 2 out and a runner at second, 3-0, and John Denny at the plate. So here's the pitch, and here's a ball lifted into center field, a base hit. Here is Antone Henley coming up with a ball, and he'll hold the runner again. They're respecting his ability to throw the ball. And now the next hitter is Graham, and he will hit it to the right side, and the inning is finally over, but not before they get 4, make that 3 runs on 5 hits, and they leave a couple. And after a half an inning of play, the Mustangs 3 and the Zephyrs coming up. Kim Brahoniak is going to be the starting pitcher. Brahoniak, the right-handed veteran pitcher. We're in the 50 Cactus League, and now the man who was the tournament most valuable player a year ago for the world champion Zephyrs. And I'm talking about their shortstop, Bobby Graham. It'll be Graham, Escudero, and Mr. Everything, Bob Corvus. That one's high and tight on the right-handed hitter. The guy hit. His fielding may have been even more important than what he contributed to at the plate. Pitch. Ball 4. So the Zephyrs wasting no time in making the comeback here. They get the leadoff hitter aboard, and now from the Halo Angels, and now with the Zephyrs, Mr. Gaston Escudero. Without a doubt, the best name in MSB in this tournament's history, Gaston Escudero. That's a conversation piece right there. I love that name, and he's a great guy. But his team trails 3-0 here in the bottom half of the first inning, and Graham on a close play over there at first Joe Walsh patrolling over there, and Escudero got hit right in the number on his back, and he is heading down to first. So a walk, a hit batsman. So Ken in trouble now, and he's going to be facing a very tough competitor, and Bob Corvus, who played for Lou Gordon's Chicago North Cubs for so many years. First pitch, a called strike, and it's 0-1. Corvus, a good pitcher, does a lot of things, a versatile player, tremendous sense of humor. Down through the years, we've had many laughs with this guy. Of course, you're going to get that with that Chicago North team. They play over in the 50 Central. Corvus gets good wood on this one, loops it out into center field, but I'll tell you what, Correcchia with some tremendous range, and he got there with no problem, and there's one down. I'll tell you, you got maybe the two premier center fielders in this 50 and over Cactus League as William Sir Buckingham comes to the plate, the hard-hitting cleanup hitter for the Zephyrs. And he takes upstairs for ball one. We're in the bottom half of the first inning. The Mustangs put 3 runs up on the board. They got RBIs from Walsh and a 2-run double by Kelly, and lead it 3-0. And this ball is hammered out into center field, dropping for a base hit, and that will load the bases as Joe ranges to his right and cuts it off into the gap. That is the first hit of the day off Brahoniak, who has walked and hit a batter so far. Base is loaded for Dave Mango. Bouncing ball right side. They'll go second one, and the ball was dropped by Tom Kelly, the second baseman. 1 run is going to score. 2 runs are going to score. It's a 1-run affair. That'll be an error on the second baseman. Give credit to Mango for an RBI, but 2 come in on the play, and it's a 1-run game. Now Roger Padilla, much like Joe Walsh, dedicated that championship game last year to his dad. He had won a championship about 10 years prior to the championship last year, and he said that his dad had passed away before the tournament and didn't get to see him play. And Roger got a little emotional, again tugging those heartstrings. There's some true the human element is out here, and I don't think people around this league really understand the importance of what this league does and how it brings people together. This is the 27th year of the Men's Senior Baseball League's World Series. And now Roger Padilla with a chance to get that tying run in out there at second base. And that ball scoots away from the catcher, and both runners are going to move up second and third. So now the go-ahead run is in scoring position as Brahoniak delivers, and a bouncing ball wide of third but foul. It's been a long first inning. High ball 4. And the bases are loaded for Dan Sosa. Sosa takes ball 1. So the Mustangs score 3 on 5 hits. I mentioned Walsh and Kelly with RBIs. Kelly a 2-run double. In the dirt, outstanding scoop by the catcher. That's a beautiful play by the catcher of the Diamond Dream Mustangs, Terry Longan. Sosa up there, a golden opportunity to even things up and maybe even give his team the lead. And he is ahead in the count here. Left-handed hitting Sosa. You know Antone Henley's team is deep. His lineup is deep when Sosa is hitting in the 7 position. And that is ball 4. So how about that? They walk in a run, back-to-back walks issued by Brahoniak. He has had 3 walks in the inning. He's given up only 1 hit, but give Sosa an RBI. And just like that, a 3-3 tie here in the first inning. You're watching the 2014 MSBL World Series here on APM Video Sports. This is Mark Hutchison. Mark, another dangerous hitter towards the bottom of Antone Henley's lineup. That's a called strike and a good pitch. They're setting up for the MSBL World Series trade show, which is always a big event here at Tempe Diablo Stadium. There's Tempe Diablo Stadium, the winter home of the Anaheim Angels or Los Angeles Angels, and has been the MSBL World Series headquarters for as long as I can remember, except for 1 year. They were renovating the ballpark back in 2007, and so Steve Sigler had to move things over to Hohokam Park, which is now no longer a part of the rotation here of the MSBL because apparently the Oakland A's took over that facility when ASU took over Phoenix Municipal. Phoenix Municipal is no longer in the rotation here, and so a lot of changes, but the MSBL does pick up Riverview. There's another walk. And just like that, it is a 4-3 game. Mango scores, and so the Mustangs, after bolting out in front 3-0 in that first inning, and 3 straight walks by Prohoniak. He has walked 4 in the first, and he's still out there. And that's got to tell you about the on-field character of Ken Prohoniak, because I'll tell you, most managers right now would be seriously debating on whether to take him out or not. Here's a pop-up to the second baseman, and that's caught. So that's the second out of the inning, and now the batter is going to be John Arnold. Arnold, a hard-hitting right-hand hitter for the Zephyrs. Of course, the South Bay Zephyr team, they hail out of that West LA area. Talking to Antone Henley. I know he lives over there by the StubHub Center, formerly the Home Depot Center in Carson, California. 2 balls and 1 strike. On John Arnold, a hard-hitting right-hand hitter, and he takes high, 3-1. Second and third. He takes a strike all the way, and here's the payoff pitch coming up. Prohoniak has had his troubles. Needs a strike here, the 3-2 pitch, and he struck him out swinging, and the inning is over. But the damage was done to the tune of 4 runs as the Zephyrs take the lead 4-3. We are in the first. Beautiful Tempe Diablo Stadium. I'll tell you what, on our monitor, it looks like a beautiful ballpark, though unfortunately, because the amount of games as this one's lined out in the center field, and here come the Mustangs. Dave Haggard with a leadoff single. That is hit number 6 off Downing. Downing did not walk a batter. He struck out 1 in the first and giving up 3 earned runs. Runner goes, first pitch. Here's the throwdown. It won't be in time. And an easy stolen base for the Mustangs as Lacombe, the manager, stands in. And he knocks one out into center field. Antone on the big hop thought about going to first base, and they're on the corners. Back-to-back singles, and the Mustangs are off and running, 7 hits in total. And that's going to prompt Frank Phillips, the big hurtin', to come out to the mound, one of the co-managers.
At first base.
We got a courtesy runner at first base as this one is popped up, and that is in right field, caught. Here's the catch, here's the tag, here's the throw to the plate. And once again, the strength of the outfield arms paying off here for the Zephyrs. So Rainey is retired, and here's Tony Lucio. High fly ball hit back into deep left field. This should be deep enough to score the run. and it got up into the sun. It was misplayed out there by Doug Poe, and that will allow the run to score easily. And that'll be a long single, an RBI. He didn't touch it, so it's not an error. And that's a situation as the game is tied at 4. You got to use the sunglasses and you got to use your glove, as this one's chopped foul. And we go back to the top of the lineup, and a very talented shortstop, Dan Cassidy, at the plate. We're in the top of the second, a run in. 1 out, 2 on, and the pitch. Didn't miss by much. You got runners at first and second with 1 out. And a little chopper foul. Chopper down to third, again another foul ball. Second inning action. Mustangs got 3 in the first. They've scored 1 here in the top of the second to tie things up against Bill Downing. No relation to former Dodger pitcher Al Downing. None at all. Who gave up Hank Aaron's record-setting career home run mark, 715 on a cool April evening in April of 1974. Here's a pop-up foul and out of play. I was 8 years old when my parents took me to, first the pitch, and that one is a fly ball down the line, and this might be playable, and again into the sun and unable to make the play. I think he would have had it, and now Antone Henley is going to take over and left. It is a tough sky here today. Chopper down to third. I don't think they have a chance to, and that's a smart play by Padilla. Putting that bad boy in his hip pocket. That's an infield hit. And now the bases are loaded with 1 out. And now Joe Correcchia will have to face a new pitcher. So Downing goes 1 1/3 innings, gives up 8 hits. He's responsible for the 3 runners on base. Bob Corvus takes over now for the South Bay Zephyrs here in the top of the second inning. He inherits the bases loaded in a 4-4 tie. And only 1 out in the inning, and here's Joe Correcchia, who had a double, a run scored, and already making an impact out in center field. But finishing my story, I was 8 years old, early April, Riverfront Stadium in Cincinnati. Hank Aaron almost hit the ball where we were seated out in the green seats in left center field. He tied Babe Ruth's all-time record, and yes, I got a picture of it. A little snapshot. Correcchia up there. I mentioned outstanding speed, so not a huge double play threat. High drive, deep left, and that ball is over the head of Antone Henley. That is going to score 2 runs. And look at this. The Mustangs on a long single. And I mean a long single by Correcchia. 2-run hit variety. Now lead at 6-4. So it's a 3-run inning, back-to-back 3-run innings for this Dream Mustangs team out of the D.C. and Virginia areas. Mike Lacomb's team coming out here. They got the hot sticks. And now Terry Longan, the catcher. So they've scored 3 in the first, 3 more here in the second. Zephyrs scored 4 times in the home half of the first inning. It's scooped there by the catcher of this Zephyrs team. Bob Corvus. Runner goes, and there will be no throw. And an easy stolen base for Dan Cassidy. So both runners advance on the play. You got Dan at third, you got Dan at second. Cassidy and Correcchia. Corvus to the plate, and that's low ball 4. So I'll tell you what, it has been a very long inning and a half of baseball to start things off, and now double barrel action down in the bullpen, including left-hander Dan Sosa on the right and Sir Buckingham on the left. Now the dangerous Joe Walsh. And he grounds one to the right side, fielded there by Tom Baer. He will get the out at second. The throw on to first will not be in time. Boy, an outstanding turn there. Baer to Graham. The run will score, and it's 7-4 in favor of the Mustangs. That was a sensational turn, and you can see why Graham was so vital to this team's success. I know he hit the ball well, but I think his defense made him the most valuable player. Here's a looper to left, and Antone Henley with a great running catch, and that'll retire the side. Hang a star onto that one, but a very fruitful 4-run inning for the Mustangs. Bottom of the second, 7-4 Mustangs. Well, let's see if the Zephyrs can make the comeback. Here's a bunt up along the third base line, and that's Poe at the plate, and they're going to call him safe. Little surprised that the catcher and Terry Longan dove for that ball before it went foul, and I think by diving on the ball, I think it kind of obstructed the view of the home plate umpire. So Poe is aboard with the second hit of the day, a quick throw to first, and they almost got it. Bobby Graham walked and scored back in a 4-run first for the Zephyrs. High and tight pitch, runner started to go and takes inside ball 1. So a 7-4 lead for the Mustangs. There goes the runner. Here's the pitch. Here's the throwdown, and he is gone. Caught stealing on a great throw by Terry Longan behind the plate. So now Graham is up there with nobody on and 1 out instead of a runner at second or a runner at first and nobody out. And that's high ball 4. He has walked both times at the plate, and now Gaston Escudero. Talk about at the major league level, there was a lot of players in the 80s that went with the open stance. And that's something that you just don't see a whole lot anymore. But it seemed like in the 80s there was a lot of guys doing it. And I think a lot of the reason was first the pitch, and that's in there for a called strike, runner at first with 1 out. I think a lot of the reason was, when you're a right-handed hitter, your right eye is, you're looking kind of almost sideways, and by opening up your stance, you have more of almost a direct line to the pitcher. I think it just helps from a vision standpoint. Plus, maybe turning on an inside fastball makes it a little bit easier to get on that inside fastball a little bit better. Let's see if Gaston can get in on one. He pops it up. That got into his wheelhouse, but he got under it and pops it out to the third baseman, 1 down. Check that 2 down for Bob Corvus. Runner at first base. The Zephyrs find themselves for the second time in a 3-run hole. Another stolen base attempt and another throw out by the catcher, Terry Longan. What a second inning for the backstop of the Mustangs, and at the end of 2 innings of play, the Mustangs lead the defending champion, the Zephyrs, 7-4. 1 hour to play 2 innings so far, 1:30 on this beautiful October 21st afternoon. Game time temperature 88 degrees. Highs to be in the low to mid 90s before this, probably about the time this thing wraps up. It's going to be probably right around 90, 91 degrees. Bob Corvus in his second inning of work, going up against Tom Kelly, who had a long 2-run double to left field, his first and only time up. Mustangs scored 3 in the first, 4 in the second, and they lead 7-4 here on APM Video Sports in our coverage the 2014 MSBL World Series. Full count on the leadoff hitter will be Kelly, John Denny, and Lindsey Graham. And that's low, ball 4. So Corvus walks his second since coming in. Now John Denny, the 1977 National League ERA champion with the St. Louis. No, it's not the same guy. I'm just kidding. There was a John Denny who actually was a pretty exceptional pitcher in the kind of the mid to late 70s. Had a couple of really good years with the Cardinals. He takes a strike. Belt high fastball, outer part. We're in the top of the third. Corvus to Denny. And that went on the outside edge. That's what a lot of hitters will say, an unhittable pitch. 2-2 offering to John Denny. And it's hit hard, but right at the second baseman. Bear to Graham and on to first, and that's a double play. 4-6-3, and there's 2 down for Lindsey Graham. Tom Bear, also a member of Lou Gordon's Chicago North Cubs for many years. Strike called, borderline pitch outside part of the plate. Might have been a few inches off, but Corvus gets the benefit of the doubt on Lindsey Graham, who bounced out 4-3 to end the first inning. We're in the top half of the third. Mustangs 7, Zephyrs 4. If you're just joining us. Well, later today, Game 1 of the Major League Baseball World Series. The Kansas City Royals hosting the San Francisco Giants, ready with the next offering. That's in the dirt. Madison Bumgarner will tail the rubber for Bruce Bochy's team. Here's a chopper to the right side. Bear plays it on the short hop and throws on to first, and that is that. We head to the home half of the third inning. From the ballpark, 7-4 in favor of the Mustangs out of the D.C. and Virginia areas. Bob Corvus to start things off, bottom half of the third inning. Jeff Lowry with you on the APN Baseball Network, and just a beautiful day, a little warm. We're expecting temperatures in the low to mid-90s this entire week as Corvus puts a drive into this one, and it's going to be caught. A nice running catch down the left field line, and, well, I'll tell you what, Dave Haggard couldn't have played it any better. 1 down. That'll bring up William Buckingham, a single. His courtesy runner came around to score. Back in that 4-run first when the Zephyrs had their only lead of the game, we've had 2 lead changes. First pitch is high, ball 1. Dave Mango is on deck for the Zephyrs. Swing and a foul. Our trivia question today, can you name the 4 pitchers in baseball history with 3,000 career strikeouts yet did not walk 1,000 batters in their career? 3,000 Ks, less than 1,000 walks. Time is called. As Ken Prohoniak is in his 3rd inning of work. Here's a ground ball up the middle, but the shortstop flares near the bag at second, and Cassidy throws him out at first. 2 down. 3 in a row set down by Prohoniak. 2 down in the inning, and here's left-handed hitting Dave Mango. Takes low for ball 1. I'll give you a hint on that trivia question. 2 of the pitchers are in the Hall of Fame, both of which pitched many years with the Chicago Cubs. And I think the other 2 should be in the Hall of Fame. Tried to check his swing, and he went around. Roger Padilla is on deck. Nobody on with 2 out. Zephyrs in the red, trailing 3. That one on the trademark, foul territory, and out of play. The right-hander looks in for the sign. He kicks, he deals. Off that one high on David Mango. Strike 3 called, and he can't believe it, and neither do I. That was a terrible call by the home plate umpire, and Mango is simply beside himself. Great inning for Prohoniak. Antone Henley returns to center field as we return to action here from Diablo Stadium. 7-4 is our score with the Mustangs on top. Kind of reset the setting here. We're coming to you from Tempe Diablo Stadium, the winter home of the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. We're in the 50 and over Cactus Division pool play. Here's a looper out in the right field, and the Mustangs left fielder has a leadoff single. So Dave Haggard with a great catch out in left field a half inning ago and is now 2 for 2. Actually, Antone has moved over to left field where he occupied the previous inning, and now Mike Lacombe, the manager. Runner at first, nobody out. Corvus, and the runner goes. The ball got stuck in the catcher's mitt, and an easy stolen base. Second one for Dave Haggard. So here in the top of the 4th inning, the Mustangs looking to add on to a 7-4 lead. Grounded to the right side. Baird with the backhand picks it up and throws him out at first base. But Lacombe did his job. He moved the runner up to third base with less than 2 out. George Rainey. Flied to right field. Swings and he misses at some high heat from Bob Corvus. That's low. Corvus delivers. That's low. Runner at second base. You got 1 out here in the 4th inning. 3-run lead for the team in blue, dark blue. Not sure what this conversation's all about. Umpire may have been telling Bob Corvus you came very close to getting a ball called on you. That's the only thing I could think of. The runner takes his lead at second. 1 out the pitch. Chopper to the left side. Knocked down by Roger Padilla. And puts a good hard throw in it. They're going to throw it back to third, and that throw is, of course, late. 2 down in the inning, and Tony Lucio. And an RBI single his first time up. 7-4 Mustangs. They bat here in the top of the 4th inning. That is a fair ball. No, it isn't. It's a foul ball. Excuse me. Foul ball off the bat of Tony Lucio. And now the next pitch. Big breaking ball, and you can see Corvus really wanted that one. Top of the 4th inning, a runner at third, 2 out. Tony Lucio, one of the top clutch hitters in this league. High fly ball. And on the infield, Tom Bear's got it, and that is that. Top of the 4th inning in the books. After a leadoff single, 1-2-3. And at the end of 3.5, it's still the Mustangs 7, the Zephyrs 4. And you're watching the 2014 MSBL World Series right here on APN Sports. Jeff Lowry here. Roger Padilla, walk, which produced a run. Ken Prohoniak had a really rough first inning, but since then he has really settled down. He had 4 walks, including 2 while the bases were loaded in that first inning. It'll be Padilla, Sosa, and Hutchinson here in the bottom half of the 4th inning. The Zephyrs in the red trail by 3, 7-4. Roger taking all the way, part of that World Championship team a year ago. That's ball 4. So for the second time, Padilla has walked. Bobby Graham has walked twice. That is 6 walks given up by Ken Prohoniak. And now the batter is Dan Sosa.
I gotta move around sometime.
You should.
It's a good left-handed bat right here in Dan Sosa. Let's see if he can break through here on Prohoniak. Zephyrs down by 3, and they need base runners. He wanted his catcher to run through the signs again. Left that one high. Right now the command not there for Prohoniak. Let's see if he can ascertain it. Here's a little chopper back to the mound. They will go 2nd 1. Cassidy's throw to first will not be in time. Good hustle by Dan Sosa. Unlike 85% of the major leaguers, he was running it hard from the get-go. And now Mark Hutchinson. Now, I can't say that about the 2 teams in the World Series. And let me tell you, there is a reason those 2 teams are in the World Series. These are not the greatest teams in World Series history by far. By far. You look at the 2 teams that are in the World Series right now as Hutchinson bats and nearly got hit by the pitch. Statistically, these may be the two of the worst all time, but they got there because on an individual game basis, they find a way to win. They play good defense. They get solid pitching. Both teams with a tremendous bullpen, maybe with the exception of Mr. Strickland, who has been pretty bad for the Giants. They hustle it out. They make the diving plays. They do all the intangibles. And that's where baseball's come full circle. I mean, back in 1998, you needed some big power if you were going to compete. The steroid era, juice ball, whatever you call it. To me, the reason these guys hit a lot of home runs, I think the steroids certainly had a good majority of the reason they hit that many home runs. But a lot of it, the strike zone is much bigger today. And you can ask any one of these MSBL players right now, if you expand the strike zone on them, their batting average will suffer significantly, first and second after the walk. 1 out in the inning. And here's Rob Medell. This is a guy who can do a lot of damage at the plate. He can hit to all fields. 7-4 lead for the Mustangs over the Zephyrs. Can you imagine a heavy-hitting team that took the pride in their defense and their base running and just flat-out hustle? What kind of a team you could have. Here's a smash into left field, base hit. The Zephyrs will put up their 5th run of the game on an RBI hit by Rob Medell to left field. So some clutch hitting by Medell. And it's 7-5. The lead has been trimmed to 2. That'll bring up Arnold, John Arnold. And he swings and he misses at the first pitch, 0-1. A strikeout victim back in inning number 1. This is a guy capable of driving in a lot of runs for his team, but he was way out in front of what may have been a straight change. Let's see if he can come through here. His team trails by 2. We're in the bottom of the 4th inning. The pitch. Breaking ball, grounded hard but foul, third base side. Pretty good rip at that one. Prohoniak, who gave up 4 runs in the first on 4 walks. In fact, walked 2 batters in that inning that forced in a run, 1 and 2. Here's the throw down to third. The runner late break, and he's going to be safe. Remember that Logan has already thrown out 2 Zephyrs trying to steal. They're on the corners. Arnold and then Poe. Bottom of the 4th inning. Throw over to first and a close play. Nice job by Walsh corralling that throw. I don't know if it was an errant throw or if it was just a matter of Walsh lost his footing when Mango dived in there. And I'll tell you, I just like Joe Walsh. This guy's got some class. And right now, the manager, Mike Lacombe, is out there, and he's claiming interference on the runner. That or he wants a second opinion on the call. He may have thought that the runner was picked off in Medill. He's going to get a second opinion from the home plate umpire here, and they will talk things over, and all hands are going to be safe. First and third. We're in the 4th inning, a run in on an RBI single by Rob Medill. 2 balls, 2 strikes on John Arnold of the Zephyrs as they bat here. We've had 2 lead changes. The pitch. Way inside, 3-2. Will this score the run? It will, and it's a 1-run affair. Wild pitch. Well, a good job by Mark Hutchinson stealing third, and the only reason the Zephyrs scored in that situation. 3 balls, 2 strikes with a runner at second, the tying run. The pitch. Grounded down the line and foul. John Denny having some fun down the third base line. Prohoniak kicks and deals. And he left it high, ball 4. What a great at bat by Arnold. So now they're at first and second. And that is going to be all for the starting pitcher. So he goes 3+, and he will give way here. It was a tough outing on a very warm day here in the Valley of the Sun. And the new pitcher is going to be Joe Feller. Well, you've heard of Bob Feller, Rapid Rob, Rapid Bob. Well, you got Joe Feller out there out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and he is coming right after Poe. Poe had a single. He was thrown out stealing in the second. Runners are at first and second. We're in the 4th. A check of the runners in the pitch. And here's a ball hit into right field, a base hit. They will throw to second, and did they get the fielder's choice? Oh my goodness, they did. Unbelievable. A fielder's choice at second base off the bat of Poe. It goes 9-6. And I'll tell you what, I'm not going to be critical of the Zephyrs team, but you got to be sliding in that. You got to go hard and you got to slide. Because if you go in standing up, you have to slow down. And that was the difference between being safe and out. And this Zephyr team knows better, and I know Dave Mango definitely knows better, or whoever was out there, I think it was a courtesy runner, as this one's looped out into right field, dropping in for a hit. And that's going to play to run here. Scoring on the play is Rob Medell. So it's a 3-run inning, and guess what? We are all tied up at 7 runs apiece here in the bottom half of the inning. So Bobby Graham continues to be clutch. Now Gaston. He has walked and scored. He has popped up to the third baseman. He swings and he misses, and it's 0-1. Well, Prohoniak, his day is done. He will not factor into the decision, nor will the starting pitcher for the Zephyrs, Bill Downing. The Zephyrs come in here with a record of 3 wins, 1 loss. Check that, 3 wins, no losses, and a tie. While the Dreams of the Diamond Dream Mustangs, 3-1 is their record. So something's got to give here today between these 2 3-win teams. Here's a bouncing ball foul. Gaston, a member of that Halo Angel team with ties to the Anaheim Angels. This one off the fist. That may have got a piece of his toe, and I think he did foul it off that left toe. Now ready with the next pitch to Gaston Escudero, and it's way outside. Gaston looking to drive in some runs here and give his team their second lead of the contest. Boy, I'll tell you what, it looked like he was trying to get hit by that, and the umpire says you would not have been given the base. Here's a pop-up, and this one's out of play. He's battling up there. A good at bat so far. Next pitch. Popped him up, and this one is in the shallow left field, and the left fielder will make the running catch. Good job. But 3 runs come across. We go to the top of the 5th inning. And it's a 7-7 tie. You're watching the 2014 MSBL World Series here from Diablo Stadium in Tempe, Arizona. 89 degrees, our game time temperature. So it will be the top part of the lineup. This is Dan Cassidy, the shortstop. He'll be followed by Joe Koresia and Terry Longan. They'll be the first 3 here for the Mustangs. The Mustangs got out to a 3-0 lead in the first. Then they fell 4-3 after 1 to the Zephyrs. Regained the lead 7-4 in the second, only to see the Zephyrs come back and tie it. We've had 2 lead changes, and we have had 1 tie so far in this game, and we're only in the top of the 5th inning. You got 2 outstanding teams going at it here. I wouldn't be too surprised to see these 2 teams in the playoffs. Here's a bunt third base side, and Padilla will put that one into his hip pocket, and that'll be a leadoff single for Cassidy. Cassidy just continues to be really a key factor in the success of the Mustangs. When you talk about what he can do at the plate, he is now 2 for 3 with a run scored and a stolen base at the plate. And then Cassidy has done outstanding in the field. Very steady at shortstop. Well, here's Joe, who is working on a 2 for 2 day, a double in the first and a run scored. He had the big 2-run double, stolen base in the second. 2 for 2, 1 run, 2 RBIs. Runner at first base with nobody out. 7-7 tie, and that'll be one of the easiest stolen bases you'll ever get. And Joe, there's your name and lights, buddy. Your 15 seconds of fame. That's more than most people get in a lifetime. Bob Corvus, who came in relief in the second inning, is now in his 4th inning of work. Got a runner at second, the go-ahead run for the Diamond Dream Mustangs. Pitch. Fastball, good one, and on the inside corner. Corvus looks in for the sign. The throwback to second, and Tom Baer. These two played on that Chicago North Cubs team led by Lou Gordon. The pitch. Ball 4. First 2 on. And not a good start here to the top of the 5th inning for Bob Corvus and the defending 50 and over champion, the South Bay Zephyrs. So while we were away, we got a new pitcher on the mound. So Corvus works in 4 innings and now gives way to Sosa. So Sosa, the third pitcher used by Antone Henley and the brain trust of Antone Henley and his brother, Frank Phillips. Longan, who has done a sensational job behind the plate, multiple runners thrown out trying to steal. He has struck out and walked at the plate, and now with runners at first and second, nobody out in a 7-7 tie, the runners go. He swings and fouls it off. A very defensive swing by Longan. Sosa pitching and swinging, and a long drive to left field, and that's going to drop in foul. So a long run there, nice attempt, but to no avail by Poe. A lot of crowd filtering in here at Tempe Diablo Stadium. The pitch is low. And then a lot of outfield. Here's a quick throw back to second. The runner back safe. Cassidy just beating the throw and actually did not beat the throw. He was dead to right, but Tom Baer dropped the ball. And Longan having a tough time with that slider biting down and in underneath his hands from the left-hander. Catcher today, Steve Forey for the Zephyrs. Pitch. Here's a bouncing ball right back to the mound. Nice play. Throw to third. They get one, and that's all you can expect. A fielder's choice goes 1-5. They get the lead runner, the speedy Cassidy. Correcchia to second, Longan to first, 1 out, Joe Walsh. Walsh hit a long double and hits a sky shot to left field, base hit. Here comes the runner around third. Here's Joe coming to the plate, no throw, and the Mustangs have the lead 8-7. Boy, Joe Walsh has been unstoppable here today. He's standing at first base, and here's Kevin Baver. Baver a single, he just lined out to left field, 8-7. High fly ball out of play, third lead change of the day. We've had a tie, and a ground ball slapped to the left side, base hit. Will that score the run? They will hold him up, and they are loaded once again. So the bases are loaded. Kevin Baver with a nice looking single to left field. Here's Tom Kelly. He is doubled in 2. He is walked. And he hammers one down the left field line. It is just foul. 340 down the line. Saw a home run ball here yesterday. Or no, this morning. Player for the NorCal Diablos belted a towering fly ball out of here about 15 feet above that fence. Chopper to third and 2 strikes on Tom Kelly, the 6th place hitter, with John Denny on deck. 8-7 lead for the Mustangs as they bat here in the top of the 5th inning. Going up against new pitcher, not Elias Sosa, Dan Sosa. He kicks and deals. And it's hit in the air to left field. Poe is there. He's under it. He's got it. Here's the catch. Here's the tag. We may have a play at the plate. We do, and they got it. What an outstanding relay. That goes Poe to Padilla, and then Steve Forey with a nice block at the plate. There'll be no replay on the play, and the inning is over. So the bottom half of the 5th inning coming up, and it's 8-7 Mustangs over the defending champion, the Zephyrs. And you're watching the 2014 MSBL World Series on APN Video Sports. 3, 4, and 5. The 3, 4, and 5 hitters coming up here for the Zephyrs. Bob Corvus, Buckingham, and Mango. Joe Feller, who came in the 4th inning and now in his 2nd inning of work, as we had a slight earthquake here at Tempe Diablo Stadium. That's outside for a ball. Nope, she called it a strike. Corvus looking for his first hit of the game. He's 0 for 2. High, towering fly ball, left field, medium depth. And battling that sun, making a nice catch out there is Dave Haggard, one of the true MVPs of this game for the Mustangs. And there's one down. That'll bring up William Buckingham. Buckingham takes a strike. It's 0-1. A single, a run scored back in the first inning. He grounded to short back in the third inning. Actually, this is not William Buckingham. Didn't hear the PA announcer announce Nick Kukulski. So Kukulski batting in the 4th spot, bounces one down to third. Nice job, long throw, and got him by a couple of steps, 2 down. So 2 quick outs here for the Zephyrs. And Dave Mango, who reached on an error, though drove in a run in the first, came around to score, and was a strikeout victim in the third. Zephyrs batting here in the home half of the 5th inning, trailing at 8-7. Zephyrs so far undefeated, 3-0-1. And we mentioned this earlier, the Diamond Dream Mustangs, 3 wins, 1 loss, but they're in the midst of a 3-game win streak. Here's a smash up the middle and into center field. A 2-out single extends the 5th inning for the Zephyrs, and Dave Mango is aboard for Roger Padilla. That ball right back up the middle and almost took off the shoes of Joe Feller. So now the right-handed hitting third baseman, who has walked twice. He walked back in that 4-run first inning for the Zephyrs, which at the time the bases were loaded, and he got an RBI out of the deal. He takes a knee-high pitch for a strike. He thought it was a little low, and it's 0-1. On deck, Dan Sosa. Sosa has been a very busy man here today for the Zephyrs. That's high and tight. 1 ball and 1 strike the count. Well, it finally hit 90 degrees here at Tempe Diablo Stadium on a sun-splash afternoon. Here's a drive foul down the line. You got to figure one of these 2 teams is going to, good chance they're going to make the playoffs. Here's a line shot out into left field, base hit. So back-to-back 2-out hits for the Zephyrs. Mango at second, Padilla at first.
Okay.
And now batting for the first time, this is Antone Henley. Batting for Dan Sosa, who walked in a run, singled, and scored. But you got to figure that one of these 2 teams, if not both these teams, may in fact meet again somewhere in the playoffs. And I would imagine one of these teams is going to the finals. We're in the 5th inning. The Mustangs with an 8-7 lead, but the tying run at second, the go-ahead run at first. Here's a chopper towards the second baseman. He's got it, and the inning is over. We're heading to the 6th. 2 runs left on base, and after 5, it's 8-7 Mustangs. Jeff Lowry back here at the ballpark. Tempe Diablo Stadium, and John Denny batting for the 3rd time. Hit into a 4-6-3 double play his last time up, and a base hit into right field. A good attempt by the Zephyrs right fielder, so a leadoff single for John Denny. And here's a roller up the line, and a good job there by 29, Lindsey Graham, moving the runner up. So he sacrificed himself in that at bat. Sosa in his 2nd inning of work in relief of the second pitcher used by Antone Henley and the Zephyrs, Bob Corvus. They have had Downing, Corvus, and Sosa in this game. And now Dave Haggard working on a perfect day at the plate. He is 2 for 2, a run scored, a couple of stolen bases, and he has played outstanding in left. Here's a high fly ball, and that's going to find the seats out of play. Ball and 2 strikes to Haggard, trying to keep a perfect day at the plate alive against Sosa, and it's low 2-2. Tempe Diablo Stadium opened up in the late 60s. In fact, the first spring training team to play here was the Seattle Pilots. Hammered down the line and just foul. Of course, later the Milwaukee Brewers trained here, and then as you get a look at Mike Lacombe. And now Sosa on the mound. 2-strike pitching to the left fielder, Dave Haggard. A runner at second and 1 out. We're in the top of the 6th inning. We've had 3 lead changes and 1 tie in this game. And a ball hit over the pitcher's mound. This is going to be a tough play. 44's got it. The 1-hop throw not in time. And a tremendous play down there at first base by John Arnold.
For 11.
So now 35 is in for 11. I think they're going to rule out a base hit. So they are at first and second. And now the batter is first time up. This is Ken Prohoniak. Starting pitcher today who went 3+ innings. And he hammers one over the head of the second baseman out in the right center field. That'll plate the 9th run of the game. It gets by Henley. They're going to wave the second runner home. Here comes the throw. It's going to be cut off. It's a 2-run double for Kenny Prohoniak. And just like that, you've got a 10-7 ball game. So credit him with a couple of RBIs. Now they've changed it. They're going to say it was an error on the center fielder. So an error on the center fielder, 1 RBI on the play. And the batter's George Rainey, 0 for 2. 10-7 lead for the Mustangs, looking good and quite possibly could be on their way to their 4th consecutive victory. In the air and out of play. And a ground ball towards the shortstop. Got the convenient hop, the long throw across in time. Now a quick play at third. It gets by, and the runner has to stay put. It was backed up nicely. The shortstop ran all the way over there to back up that play. How many players would you see actually do that? And a tremendous heads-up play there and tremendous hustle by Kukulski. So Rainey retired 6-3. And here's a shot to center field, dropping in for a hit. They'll throw to first. Antone Henley, he made it somewhat close as Tony Lucio has his 2nd RBI hit. And it is now 11-7 in favor of the Mustang. Top of the order. Swinging and missing is Dan Cassidy, who is 2 for 3. He has scored a run. He has had a couple of stolen bases in the game. A 3-run 6th inning for the Mustangs, and they lead it 11-7. Nothing in 2 the count on the shortstop. Joe Correcchia is on deck, hoping for a chance to bat here with 2 out, a runner at first base. The pitch from Sosa is a ground ball to the right side. Tom Baer, he'll flip it over to Kukulski, and that is that. Home half of the 6th inning coming up here from Tempe Diablo Stadium. A big 3-run inning by the Mustangs, and they lead by 4. Antone Henley now moves over to the third base coaching box, hoping that his team will come alive with the bats. And Mark Hutchison will start things off. He's walked in both plate appearances. Came around the score in the 4th inning when the Zephyrs went up and put 3 up on the board at the plate. He swings and he fouls one off. You know, I think I said 3 lead changes, actually 2 lead changes and 1 tie. It was 3-0 Mustangs after a half. The Zephyrs went up 4-3, only to see the Mustangs score 4 in the second to go up 7-4. The Zephyrs tied it with 3 in the bottom of the 4th inning, only to see the Mustangs regain the lead. As this one almost took out a couple of fans up here. The Mustangs regained the lead in the 5th with a single run and then added 3 more in the top of this 6th inning to take their current 11-7 lead. Fellers look pretty good since coming on. And that is strike 3 called. That pitch was about a country mile outside. Hutchinson goes down. Good job by Feller. And the batter's going to be Rob Medell. Medell an RBI single. A run scored in the 4th. He's 1 for 2. Zephyrs got to get it going here as the first pitch is a called strike and it's 0-1. Arnold and Poe hoping to get up there next. 50-plus Cactus Division of the 2014 MSBL World Series. Steve Sigler, the president, Tom Prendergast, their entire crew, their entire network, they doing a sensational job. Off the trademark and bloop to the third baseman. That's a tough play. That is a very tough play, and that's an infield hit. Nice effort by Graham. So Medell is on for the second time. And now that'll bring up a pinch hitter for Arnold and Frank Phillips, the big hurtin'. And he took a big cut at a pitch outside corner and came up empty-handed 0-1. And he gets a hold of one, he can send it a country mile. 11-7 lead for the Mustangs. They're in the field. Phillips at the plate. Dangerous hitter pitch. And that one scoots away from the catcher, but not enough for the runner to advance. I'll tell you, Terry Longan has caught an outstanding game here. Done a great job. And a looper to right field. It's caught. And the Zephyrs just ran themselves out of the inning. The double play is completed, 9-3. And we head to inning number 7. It's the Mustangs leading it 11-7. You're watching APN Video Sports. Getting a wide shot of Tempe Diablo Stadium on this beautiful sunsplash afternoon. Another inning for Sosa. The pitchers of record right now are Joe Feller would win it if the Mustangs can hold on to that 4-run lead or any lead at all, as this one's bounced to the left side and it looks like Joe's going to be retired for out number 1. Joe had a great day at the plate. A double, a run scored, a 2-run single in the second, a walk and a run scored. And now Terry Longan with a drive down the line and it's out of play. Longan looking for his first hit, 0 for 2 with a walk. We are in inning number 7, the top of the 7th inning. Zephyrs in the field. They represent the home team. And right now, the losing pitcher would be Bob Corvus. This is playable for the catcher, and he is not going to be able to make the play. Tough play for Steve Forey, who's also done well behind the plate defensively.
Okay.
And here's a high pop-up in the shallow left center, and Kukulski is there, 2 down. 3 in a row set down by Sosa, 2 outs. And here's Walsh, ripping one out into left field, and I'll tell you, he has had a monster game this afternoon. He has doubled and singled in a run. He's added another single. He's 3 for 4 with a run scored and 2 RBIs, extending the inning to another dangerous hitter in Kevin Baver. And he swings through a pitch, 0-1. Top of the 7th inning from Tempe Diablo Stadium. And here's a chopper to the right side. And a nice pickup there by John Arnold, the first baseman. And we are heading to the 7th inning stretch. 11-7 in favor of the Diamond Dream Mustangs. Back in a moment. Well, that Zephyr bench would love to get some runs on the board and please their manager, number 11, Antone Henley. Special thanks to Antone for setting up and arranging today's game, and certainly those of you watching on the Diamond Dream Mustang Fox affiliate back in Virginia. We'd like to welcome all of you big-time Mustang fans to the broadcast. Here's a smash down the line, picked up by the third baseman. Nice play. And Poe is retired out number 1. A good start to the 7th inning. Bill Knutson now will bat. Believe he's being added to the bottom of the order here as we play from Diablo Stadium in Tempe, Arizona. Right-handed hitter. Line drive hitter. He pulls the ball and he goes down swinging, and there's 2 down. Now 32, Rick Dunlap added to the bottom of the lineup here at a 4-run deficit for the Zephyrs, bottom of the 7th inning. Both teams with 3 victories coming in. The pitch. That one is inside for a ball. So Dunlap up there with nobody on, 2 out. His team, the Zephyrs, trailing by 4. Right-hander against right-hander. Feller to the plate. And a good-looking fastball at the knees. Well, we got a good crowd here on hand. People filtering in. The trade show about ready to kick off. They're setting up the equipment. And a wave and a miss, and down he goes. A couple of strikeouts for Feller. He has looked very impressive. We head to the 8th inning from Diablo Stadium.
Oh, it's always fantastic to get out here on these fields. They're put together the way baseball is supposed to be, and everything works on the field just the way these games are supposed to be played. The balls hop true, and it makes it a lot better than some of the rec fields that you're on during the regular season.
What's maybe been one of your personal highlights so far this year?
It's been a very successful year with the bat. Been getting through the games well and playing a winning season with my regular team, and now enjoying tournaments here at the end of the year.
And I understand that you're going to be moving out to the Valley of the Sun here shortly.
Absolutely. Yep. We're looking to get out of the cold weather. No more shutdown between November to March, and can play ball year-round. Looking forward to it.
Now, I know you told me what part of Pennsylvania you're from.
Well, I moved to outside of Philadelphia in 1993, originally from California.
Oh, okay.
So I'm a Bay Area boy by birth, but been back there for the last 21 years, working hard, making some money, and now ready to start going into semi-retirement.
All right. Kevin, thanks so much for being with us.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Ken Perhaniak. I'm pitching today. I'm from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, now Locust Grove, Virginia. Playing with the Mustangs for about 10 years now. Love these stadium games. Go Stangs.
All right, we go to the top of the 8th inning here, and a first pitch swung on, ground ball down to third. A long throw for Padilla, and quickly 1 down here for the Mustangs as Kelly is retired 5-3, and the batter is John Denny. Denny 2 for 3, hit into a double play. He is singled. He has a run scored. Mustangs with 3 in the first, 4 in the second, another run in the 5th, which gave them an 8-7 lead, and then they went up 11-7 with 3 runs scored in that 6th inning. We've had 2 lead changes, 1 tie. Another inning of work for Sosa, and he's eating up some innings here for Antone Henley's team. A pair of 3-win teams through their first 4 games popped him up. This probably will not be playable. That's a very tough catch for your first baseman, and a good effort by Arnold. And Denny hits a high fly ball back into deep right and caught. So that'll be the second out of the inning. Hutchinson with a nice job of fighting that sun and corralling it. And we're going to see Joe Feller back. Feller batting in place of Lindsey Graham. Goes after the first pitch and fouls it into the dugout. Almost a circus catch there by Phillips. Next pitch is outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Zephyrs got 4 in the first, 3 in the 4th, but have been shut down the last 2 innings thanks to the pitching of this guy here, Joe Feller. That's high, 2 balls, 1 strike. And it is now 3-1 on Feller. The pitchers of record, Bob Corvus would suffer the loss. Joe Feller would be the winning pitcher. This one off the trademark, it looked like, and on the hands, fouls it down the line. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, nobody on. And a high drive, left center field, Antone Henley. And it's over his head. And Feller takes the turn, heading for 2, and he's got a 2-out double. So keeping this hitting going here for the Mustangs. They continue to wallop the ball. And now Dave Haggard will be the hitter.
37 courtesy running.
I've just been told that we got a courtesy runner, and it was Bob Duff out there at second base. So 2 out, a runner at second base. Haggard a perfect 3 for 3 and could easily be our APM offensive player of the game when all is said and done. "11 runs and a very productive day at the plate. The Mustangs have been able to get a lot of clutch hits against a very tough Zephyr team. And here's a bullet out in the center, and Antone's got it. That sun has been treacherous, but he makes the play nonetheless. 1 hit, 1 left, bottom of the 8th coming up, 11-7 Mustangs. Bobby Graham, top of the order for South Bay. Kind of a do-or-die situation now for the Zephyrs. They are down by 4. It'll be Bobby Graham, Escudero, and Corvus. Bobby walked his first 2 times up, scored a run in the first. RBI single in the 4th inning. Bottom half of the 8th inning as the red team trails by 4. And Feller has been sensational, one of the true stars of this game in relief of Prohoniak, who started the game. He did struggle a little bit, came out in the 4th inning. This October 21st, here's a bouncing ball and snared by Feller, and he throws him out. I guess you could say Joe has been pitching somewhat Feller-esque in this game as Gaston Escudero tries to bunt his way aboard, and it's a foul ball. So he makes a fine play on Graham, and now Escudero looking for his first hit of the day. He had a walk and a run scored in the first. Popped up to the third baseman and is fly to left. Grounds one to shortstop. Ranging to his left is Cassidy, and he throws Escudero out at first base. 2 down. And now Bob Corvus. And he's going after the first pitch, and he fouls it out of play. Corvus 0 for 3. Game 5 of 6 round-robin games for both these teams. We mentioned South Bay coming in 3 wins, no losses, and a tie. Corvus 2 strikes. And ready with the next offering. That one's way upstairs. Full count on Bob Corvus from the Chicago area. Hard-throwing pitcher. Play first base. He can play several positions. A 3-2 offering and a chopper down to third. Playing that short hop. Nice job. Long throw. Got him. As the throw came off the bag, or the first baseman came off the bag, we head to the 9th inning. The Mustangs by 4 on APN. El Tempe Diablo Stadium, the winter home of the Anaheim Angels, and it's home to the 2014 MSBL World Series. So it looks like Sosa and Feller want to close this one out. Starting pitcher Kenny Prohoniak starting things off here. That was a sensational play by the third baseman to end that last inning. Kukulski on to first and 1 down. So Kenny, nice job his first time up. He had a base hit and an RBI, which led to the big 3-run 6th inning. Rainey up there again, and that is ball 1. The 1-0 pitch. Popped him up. back a second. The right fielder comes on, and Mark's got it 2 down. So the 2-out hitter is Tony Lucio. He's been very successful, a couple of base hits. He has an RBI, which came back in the second, scored a run, and then had another RBI and a big RBI to extend the lead to 4 in the 6th inning. 2 for 3, 2 RBIs. He had a pretty good cut there and fouls that one back into the crowd. Chopper to the shortstop. Kukulski has to charge. He will throw, and he will get the hustling Tony Lucio. So we are now heading to the 9th inning from Diablo Stadium. And the Zephyrs bats better come alive. They trail by 4. It's 50 and over Cactus Division play of the Men's Senior Baseball League World Series. Jeff Lowry back here, Tempe Diablo Stadium, and it is Joe Feller's game. Here's a line smash over the head of the right fielder. He gets by him. It's going to roll all the way to the wall, and this will be at least a triple, and it is. So Kukulski with a very impressive way to start the inning. His first hit of the day is a 3-base hit, a slashing line drive that went over the head of Tony Lucio. And now the 1 for 3, David Mango, who had an RBI reaching on an error in the first, came around to score. Overall, he's 1 for 3. Now he's 2 for 4, and that's a big base hit. That's going to plate the run. It's a 3-run ball game. So an RBI single, the second straight hit for David Mango, and the batter is Roger Padilla. Padilla walked in a run in the first. He walked in the fourth, singled in the fifth. Fastball catches the outside corner, and Padilla just cannot believe that those calls are being made by this home plate umpire. 0-1. And that one is high. 1 ball, 1 strike on Padilla. We're in the top of the 9th inning. Check that, the bottom half of the 9th inning. And here's a comebacker to Feller. He'll go 2nd, 1. The throw on to first. A double play, and there's 2 down. So here in the bottom of the 9th inning, the Zephyrs are down to their final out. Matt Schultz. He went around, and it's 0-1, right-handed hitter. So unless the Zephyrs can figure out how to score 3 times here, they will drop to 3 wins, 1 loss, 1 tie, still looking pretty good. Feller trying to close it out, and a strike called, and it's quickly 0-2 on Matt. So the game on the line. Zephyrs trailing by 3 here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Schultz at the plate. Feller goes into the line, and the 0-2 pitch is high and inside, 1-2. Good close-up look at the right-handed thrower. He has been sensational out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And a ground ball down to third and over the bag, a fair ball. Here's Matt taking the turn. And the throw to second is not in time. He's in headfirst, sliding safe with a double. And the inning will continue for Hutchinson. That ball was hit right down the line, and it may have actually hit the bag, which would have disrupted the third baseman trying to make a play on it. Hutchinson swings at the first pitch. It's out of play, 0-1. Hutch is looking for his first hit. He's walked twice. He has struck out. Zephyrs trail it 11-8 here in the bottom of the 9th inning. A leadoff triple by Kukulski and an RBI single by Mango. Bouncing ball up the middle. A tremendous play by Cassidy. He throws on to first, and the ball game is over. What an impressive victory over a great Zephyrs team. The Mustangs win it by a final score of 11-8. They go to 4 wins and 1 loss, their 4th consecutive victory. Winning pitcher in the game is Joe Feller. Tremendous job in relief. Bob Corvus will take the loss.
Take care.
At this time, let's bring it upstairs to Antone Henley.
it's a tough loss, and I congratulate the Mustangs. They played a great game. We have some things we have to correct. Couldn't see a lot of balls in the sun, made my share of mistakes, but they're all correctable.
Is tomorrow a must-win situation?
No, I believe it's more of a seeding situation.
Okay.
If we win, we'll be 4-1-1 and have a better record. But I think even if we were 3-2-1, we may be like the 7th or 8th seed.
Okay.
We prefer, obviously, to be a higher seed.